Hey everyone, welcome back to SetNFix. If you've watched my previous video, you might remember something unfortunate that happened. My DIY power supply was burnt out during my one-din car stereo system review. So, I decided to purchase a new, simple lab bench power supply to continue my project safely and reliably. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete review of this KA1502DD 15-volt 2-amp bench power supply from unboxing, testing, and reviewing, internal inspection, to my final thoughts on whether it's worth buying. Let's get started. When I opened the box, the first thing I noticed was the wire set that comes with the power supply. There are 6 different connectors included. Most importantly, alligator clips that make it easier to connect with different devices during experiments or testing. But here's something you should pay attention to. If you check closely, the thickness of these cables is quite low. That means they might not handle high current well, especially at full 2-amp loads. Personally, I recommend using a separate, thicker cable for more reliable performance and safety. It's always better to use cables that can handle the expected load rather than relying on the default ones, especially when dealing with electronic circuits. Now let's take a closer look at the power supply unit itself. This is the KA1502DD bench power supply. The casing of the main body is made entirely of metal, giving it a sturdy and durable feel. The front frame, however, is made of plastic, which helps reduce weight but still feels solid enough for regular use. On the sides and the top, you can see ventilation holes designed to help control internal heat. However, when I looked closely through them, I didn't see any cooling fan inside. That means it relies completely on passive cooling. We'll open it up later in this video to see what's inside. If you turn the unit to the back, you'll find a few key components. There's a power transistor attached to a small heatsink, which helps dissipate heat generated during operation. You'll also notice a fuse located near the power socket. It's a 2-amp fuse, which is there to protect the power supply from overload or short-circuit conditions. Replacing the fuse is quite simple. You just twist and pull it out like this. It's a standard safety feature, but definitely important for long-term reliability. Now, if you look at the power cable, you'll notice that it comes with a 2-pin plug. But here's a concern. Since the casing is made of metal, I really think it should include an earth wire. If there's ever a current leak or a short inside, having a metal body without grounding could be dangerous. So, for extra safety, I highly recommend using a 3-core wire with proper grounding. That way, you're protected even in case of electrical faults. Coming back to the front side, you can see the model number printed clearly on top, KA1502DD. The front panel layout is simple and functional. At the center, there's a digital display that shows both voltage and current values. What's bright and easy to read, even in daylight, which is a plus. Below that, you'll find several control knobs and switches. The current adjustment knob allows you to set current between 0.6 amps and 2 amps. This is useful when testing components that can't handle high current. Next to it, there's a fixed voltage selector switch that lets you choose preset voltages: 1.5 volt, 3.6 volt, 4.8 volt, 6 volt, and 7.2 volt. This is great when you need common voltage levels without fine-tuning each time. There's also a variable voltage mode that ranges from 0 to 15 volts, giving you full manual control over the output. The voltage control section has 2 knobs, one for fine adjustment and another for coarse adjustment, allowing you to precisely set your desired voltage. At the bottom, you'll find the output terminals, red for positive and black for ground. And right next to them, there's the main power switch to turn the unit on or off. Alright, let's power this up and see how it performs. One good habit to develop when using any bench power supply is to set the voltage to 0 before turning it on. This prevents sudden voltage spikes that could damage sensitive components. When you power it on, you'll hear a short beep sound, and the display lights up immediately. Now, as I adjust the current knob, you can see the value changing in the display in real time. Similarly, when I switch between the fixed voltage settings, from 1.5 volts all the way to 7.2 volts, each selected voltage shows up accurately on the display. Next, I'll switch the power supply to variable voltage mode. Here, using the 2 knobs, you can smoothly adjust the voltage anywhere between 0 and 15 volts. The digital display updates instantly, showing you the exact output value. To check the accuracy of the voltage output, I'll use a digital multimeter. First, I'll connect the red wire to the positive terminal and the black wire to ground. Then, I'll set the multimeter to DC voltage measuring mode. Let's test the fixed voltages first. When I switch between 1.5 volts, 3.6 volts, 4.8 volts, 6 volts, and 7.2 volts, the readings on the multimeter are almost identical to the power supply's display. That's a good sign of calibrated accuracy. Now, switching back to variable mode, I'll increase the voltage gradually from 0 up to 15 volts. Both the bench power supply and multimeter display nearly the same readings throughout the range. This means the voltage regulation of this unit is quite stable and precise. Next, let's test how this power supply handles current under load. For this test, I'm using a 12-volt, 5-watt car bulb as the load. I've set the power supply to 12 volts and the current limit to 2 amps. Now, connecting the bulb, it lights up immediately. On the display, you can see the current usage in real time. To verify the reading, I'll also connect the multimeter in current measuring mode. You need to switch the meter to the correct amperage range and connect it in series with the bulb. After doing that, the readings on both the power supply display and the multimeter match very closely. This confirms that the current display is accurate and the unit performs reliably under load conditions. Now that we've confirmed it works well, let's take a look inside to see how it's built. The casing is held together by 6 screws. Once you remove them, you can lift the cover off easily. Inside, you can clearly see a transformer-based design. It uses a step-down transformer, which I estimate to be around 2 amperes capacity. The control circuitry is mounted neatly on a single board. There's no fan inside, as we saw earlier, but that's actually fine because the internal components don't generate much heat under normal use. The transformer and transistor are mounted with heat sinks, and there's sufficient ventilation space around them. Overall, the internal build quality looks decent and safe for regular use. Alright, now let's talk about my final opinion on this KA1502DD bench power supply. Starting with the advantages: compact and lightweight. It doesn't take much desk space and is easy to move around. Accurate readings. The display values for both voltage and current are very close to actual readings measured by the multimeter. Decent current output. With a maximum of 2 amps, it's sufficient for most DIY, electronic, and car-related projects. Variable and fixed modes. Having both options makes it versatile for different applications, from charging batteries to powering small circuits. Transformer-based stability. While it's not a switching power supply, it offers clean and stable DC output without much noise. What do you think about this KA1502DD power supply? Have you used it before, or do you have another favorite model? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear your experiences. And that's all for today's review. In my next video, I'll continue with the 1-DIN car stereo installation, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when the next review drops. Be innovative and stay with SetNFix.